That was wonderful. Thank you, Razia. Moving on, our next speaker for this panel is Bari Naji, and she will talk about the unspoken challenges and incredible rewards of home ownership in immigrants.
So much for letting me speak. I'm Bari Naji. I'm Greater Boston's top Muslim realtor, and I'm also Coldwell Bankers. I'm in the top 2% of Coldwell Banker agents worldwide. I have 90% of my clients are South Asian and Middle Eastern, and that's how I prefer it, because the best people ever to work with. In fact, I'm considered to be the lucky realtor for the hotel cartel. I was raised by a single mother. My parents divorced when I was 6, and my mother was disowned by her family because they were Catholic, and it was really unheard of. So she moved us from the East Coast, New Hampshire, to as far away as she could get, to California. And we faced poverty, instability, and homelessness. I've moved over 17 times in my life. I've attended over 15 schools. So I think I'm pretty much an expert on your kids and the best schools and not so good schools. And I understand the longing for a place to put your roots, to call home. It's so important, you know. One of the unspoken challenges is that real estate is overwhelming. You have the people involved. You've got the buyers, you've got the sellers, you've got the buyer's agent, the seller's agent. You've got their attorneys. You've got lenders and underwriters and inspectors and appraisers. And then you have contracts and showings and deadlines and financing applications and inspections and septic inspections and well water inspections and lead and mold. And so there's so many things that you have to overcome and you have to know about. And the system isn't set up for people with special requirements. You know, people who need maybe Islamic financing or dedicated prayer areas. Outdoor gardens, places where you can grow things, grow your herbs and spices or whatever. Northeast-facing homes, GASU compliant. Maybe a separate space for cooking non-veg food. Maybe your mom doesn't want you, cooking eggs in the house. You need a garage kitchen or an outdoor kitchen. Or maybe you don't want to live near a cemetery or a funeral home or a hospital due to concerns about negative energy. I get that. But the system and the agents who work within the system, for the most part, are ignorant when it comes to the needs of the South Asian population and Middle Eastern home buyers. And the challenges, I think, start with the agent. Okay, so we need to be clear about the roles. The buyer's agent works with your best interests at heart. The seller's agent works for the seller, that's it. They're legally obligated to get the best price possible on the best terms for the seller. And so many times I've got South Asian men coming to my open houses and they want to work directly with me. And that would be great, I don't mind, but I can't do anything more than write up the offer or I am pretty much breaking the law. I'm working against the seller. So you might feel that you can negotiate better for yourself than a buyer's agent, but unless you're someone who buys and sells real estate all day, every day, you're wrong. Because without having your own representation, you're navigating a complex transaction alone. The seller's agent has no loyalty to you, no legal contract with you, and they are legally bound to get the best deal for the seller that they can. I see agents will offer someone, oh yeah, I'll give you $10,000, we'll give you $10,000 off, just write the offer with me. You don't know, because you don't have a buyer's agent who called the agent to find out they're going to be lowering the price by $50,000 the next day. But now this person's offered you $10,000 and you think, oh, I got a great deal. Well, if you had an agent who had called the other agent, you could have maybe got $50,000 off or $60,000 off. So not everyone is ethical, right? It's just an unfortunate fact. But when you're buying a home, you're buying something for your family, for your parents, for your kids. It's a legacy. It's something to leave your kids and your parents. It's generational wealth. It just keeps passing on. And you want to know, am I going to feel welcome here? Will my kids be happy? Is it safe? Is it a top school district? I get that a lot. And you could be in the best school district and your kids are going to have a miserable experience because those teachers don't care about your kids, They care more about little Johnny and little Susie, and so they maybe ignore your kids. And maybe my kid has a great experience in the school and I say, yeah, it's a great school, but it doesn't mean it's great for your kids. So a lot of that support has to come from home. You got to be on top of it with your kids and pay attention to how things are going for them, because they're not always going to tell you. And you can put your kids in maybe not the top 10 school, but the top 40 school, and they're going to have an amazing experience because the teacher loves everyone. They love diversity. They love helping kids succeed, and they see there's a lot of barriers to that, and so they work extra hard to help your kid succeed. Because they all end up going to college if you raise them right? They don't have to be in the top school. But when you talk to an agent about, oh, is this a good school district, we're not allowed to tell you that because it breaks fair housing laws. So once an agent starts telling you, oh yeah, this is great, it's a low crime area, they're already, breaking the law, because that's called steering or redlining. So what that is saying, okay, well, maybe this is a great neighborhood, yeah, but we want to keep certain people out, So we can't tell you if it's a great neighborhood or not. Everything, it's all relative. But if you do want to find out about great schools, you can use websites like niche.com and greatschools.org. And if you want to learn about crime, you can look at police reports and, go to the schools and visit them. And then, what else? Oh, the incredible rewards. No landlord to tell you you can't paint the house whatever color you want. Nobody saying you can't leave your shoes out in the hallway. You can't, cook what you want and enjoy the peace of mind of being in your own home. And each mortgage payment that you make is building your equity, not the landlord's equity. So you do belong. You have every right to be here. You do have the right to put down roots, and home is where your culture and your story are welcome, and where your kids come home at the end of the day, they feel great, and they're really happy, and they're relaxed, and they're not anxious that the people next door are being, jerks, right? So if you have any questions about real estate, maybe you bought a home that you don't love, and you're ready to change and find something better, or upsize, or downsize, or just talk about real estate in general, I'm happy to talk to anyone. No pressure, no obligation, no fee. It's all. So, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.